Good morning. It is the man of the hour, new at the videoing, doing an all pan gasket, and this also is dealing with oil pressure loss, which makes the indicator chime inside of a 2007 Chevy Avalanche with the 5.3. It could be various powers of the same motor, 5.3, 5.7, 6.0, but obviously it needed some work, and we're going to replace the pan gasket. Obviously it's pretty simple for this particular one, as long as you don't have four-wheel drive. The only difficult thing is I had to drop, and it wasn't that difficult. I had to drop the power steering rack because the hoses, the metal lines were bumping up against the bottom of the pan. I'll show you that underneath. And so it wouldn't let the pan drop in order for us to get it out. And then there's a cross member that comes out. Okay, so you can see how simple this pretty much is. You know, just taking the pan bolts off. There's a couple of bottom bell housing bolts that come out of the bottom. I'll show you that too. Glad I could spend some time with you guys here. But here's where we're at right here. Here's the hose right here that this flat part of the pan hits, and you need it to angle down and back so it can slide out. Okay, there's a pickup tube that goes in here, and we're replacing the O-ring so we can get a better seal, because we're getting oil pressure, but it's just low enough to make the chime come on. So, and if we get that again, then we'll be like going back to the drawing board. But this is this truck's been running fine, been running beautiful. Over here, these are the two ports that match up with your oil filter. All this is going to be cleaned off before we put the new pan gasket on. Right there is the bell housing bolts, one right here, one right here. Then you see this tiny hole up here? There's these long bolts. Let me see if I can get you one. Long bolt, 10 millimeter, that hold that pan on, right, goes up in there and screws in. There's two of them. The rest of them are just small little 10 millimeters that go all along these holes here. You'll have to unplug your oil level sending unit. You'll have to unplug that. Tells you what the level is. If you don't, you won't know what level your oil is at if it's low. You don't want this big V8 getting low. It'll burn up pumps, and next thing you know, that light, that chime light will be on. Yes sir, yes sir, for sure. Okay, here's the two bolts. I took out a bolt here, and they're huge. They're 19 millimeters or so. 19 millimeters, and I got those out. No, I'm wrong. Those came out of the frame, a cross member. See right here? So pardon me on my misinformation, and don't hold me liable. This is just me showing you some things that I normally work with, and I've worked in the shop several years, and I still get information from viable mechanics, and if it don't make sense to you, find you another viable mechanic that it makes sense for you. All right, that's all I can tell you. But anyway, those four bolts come out of that cross member there. It's these that are the big bolts I was telling you to drop this rack and pinion so it could drop down 3 inches so you can get that pan out. So that pan came right out of there, and we'll reverse that procedure on install, and that is putting that pan up, getting it bolted down and everything, and putting the pickup tube back into the orifice with the new O-ring. There's two bolts here that brackets three. The third one's over here to keep a bracket for that pickup tube that falls into your oil pan to suck up that oil. Well, it's a nice job to do for yourself. You know, you save yourself a bunch of money. Let's say $200 to $300 from some shade tree who might not know much, or you can go to the shop and they'll probably charge you even more because they don't want to go under here. I'm doing the valve cover gaskets also, so I'll be going up top. But anyway, that's another video. They're pretty easy, 5.3s. Yes indeed, yes indeed. Hit like and subscribe if you find out that you like my videos, and we'll see you again soon.